We can't undo what has been done, but we can focus on what we can change. Those are the words of Bruce Morcombe, whose son Daniel was abducted and murdered in 2003. For more than 20 years, Bruce and his wife Denise have been living by those words, fighting tirelessly to improve child safety in this country. And this week, a huge milestone, Queensland announcing it will introduce a public child sex offender register called Daniel's Law. Denise and Bruce Morcombe join me. Guys, I know this has been a long fight for you. How does it feel to be at this point?
It's Daniel's legacy. Daniel has been left us nearly 23 years ago this year, and it's keeping our children safe, and Daniel's doing that for us. So.
Why have you pushed so hard for this for so long? Because you've come up against a lot of hurdles along the way. What's kept you going?
I suppose I've always had the will and quite a cheeky saying, I suppose, don't stand between me and a pedophile, because at the end of the day, I'm coming to get you.
I do want you to run through this for me, Bruce, and how it works, because this doesn't mean anyone can just go to the website and find the names and photos of all convicted sex offenders in the area. Can you explain exactly how it will work? It
is a three-tiered effect. So the first tier, which will be on a public accessible website, anybody can go on that, and that lists, including photographs, convicted child sex offenders that are in breach of their court orders. Tier 2 is a neighbourhood scan. So you'll be able to make an application through the courts, and you'll be able to gain a photograph of convicted child sex offenders within your immediate neighbourhoods. And the third tier is anybody that has access, unsupervised access, to your kids. So that could be a failed relationship, it could be a work colleague, somebody doing after-school care. These sorts of people, you will be able to check to see if they have a history, a criminal history of offending against children. And it will keep kids safer? Absolutely it will. It provides the tools that are required for parents and carers and grandparents to check, but more than that, it provides a deterrent for those twisted minds, the monsters that are out there thinking, today's the day I'm going to do something against a child. Can I ask a delicate question? Do you think something like this could have possibly saved Daniel?
The register may not have saved Daniel, but Daniel's murderer was a convicted pedophile in the past, so his family, his wife, would have been able to look on that register, and it may have deterred him from hurting other children and from hurting Daniel. Incredibly, the people around Brett Cowan that had that horrendous record of offending against children, nobody knew. His wife, the mother of his children, did not even know of his past offending. Look, it seems like a no-brainer, but it is also complicated. The US and the UK have similar laws and have been criticised for being costly, yet not reducing the rate of offending. There's the risk of vigilante attacks, and it could increase fear in the community. Well, we hear that all the time, possible vigilante attacks, but you know, this legislation that's planned is balanced. It has the necessary powers to make sure that vigilantism is a crime in its own right, and those people will be dealt with through the court. So, look, monsters are lurking probably in every suburb and town right across the country. Could be capital cities, regional, remote. Nobody knows. But of course, the public Child Sex Offenders Register is not a silver bullet. It doesn't capture all pedophiles. It only captures and names those that have been convicted and charged. A huge thing too, and I know this is forefront of your mind, is protecting victims. We know a lot of perpetrators target children in their own families. Could exposing their abusers potentially expose these kids or put them in harm's way? Each state and territory, and particularly here in Queensland, the authorities will be working incredibly hard to make sure that no victims are ever identified. Great. And look, you're pushing for a national register, but we know not everyone's on board. So if offenders know they'll be exposed in Queensland, it's not hard to cross the border, right? Live in New South Wales, Victoria, where these registers don't exist. And we often say you would not want to be the last state or territory in Australia to have a register, because all the monsters that prey on our kids, they're heading your way. Yeah, and at the end of the day, we want to protect vulnerable children and not the monsters who hurt them.
Hopefully this register will do that. But are you proud of what you've achieved in Daniel's name?
Yep, 22 years, you know, without him, and it's a long time, and, you know, we're proud of what the Daniel Morcombe Foundation's done, and all our staff, all our volunteers, you know, everyone works really hard, and we all want to keep our kids safe. That's what it's all about.
To see Daniel's legacy live on through the hard work that you do is so special. You're both amazing. Thank you so much, Denise and Bruce. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Cheers, Sally.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And if you want more information and resources from the Daniel Morcombe Foundation or to lend your support, you can visit their website.